Imagine driving through Pennsylvania, and the road literally cracks open with smoke. The ground is 900 degrees Fahrenheit, just a few feet under your tires. An entire town, erased from the map. Only 5 people still live here. The fire underneath has been burning since 1962, and experts say it could burn for another 250 years. This is Centralia, Pennsylvania, America's real-life Silent Hill, and right now, in 2025, it is still on fire. Hit that like button if you want to know how a tiny trash fire turned an entire town into a post-apocalyptic hellscape. Welcome to Civic Mind Facts, where we uncover the wildest true stories hiding in plain sight. Today, we're in Columbia County, Pennsylvania, or what's left of it. In 1960, Centralia was a classic coal mining town. Churches, schools, 1,400 residents, Friday night football. It was a thriving community. But by 1985, almost every single house was bulldozed by the government. Fast forward to 2025, and the zip code is officially canceled. And the reason? A coal seam fire that started in a landfill and never stopped. It's eaten over 3,700 acres, cost $42 million to fight, and turned Centralia into the most famous ghost town in America. So how did this all begin? It all started on Memorial Day weekend, May 27, 1962. Town volunteers were cleaning up the local borough landfill and decided to set the trash on fire. This was actually standard practice back then, a quick way to reduce waste. But this time, something went horribly wrong. The fire wasn't properly extinguished. It smoldered, creeping underground until it jumped into an abandoned strip mine pit, hitting a rich, exposed seam of anthracite coal. Firefighters were called, and they thought they put it out. They were wrong. By that winter, residents started smelling smoke and a strange, sweet odor in their basements. They were breathing in carbon monoxide. It was NT until 1963 that the state finally admitted what was happening. There was an underground coal fire burning right beneath their homes. The first attempt to dig it out and stop it cost $250,000. A huge sum in the early 1960s, and it failed completely. The fire just kept spreading silently and invisibly, advancing at a rate of 75 feet per year. The clock was ticking for Centralia. What followed was a slow-motion apocalypse that unfolded over decades. The town didn't collapse overnight. It was a gradual, terrifying decay. Imagine living your life, knowing a relentless fire is creeping closer to your home every single day. The really scary moments started to pile up. In 1979, a local gas station owner was checking his underground fuel tanks. He dipped a thermometer in just to measure the temperature of the gasoline. It came back at 172 degrees Fahrenheit. The ground itself was cooking the fuel. Then, in 1981, came the moment that put Centralia on the national map. A 12-year-old boy named Todd Dombowski was playing in his grandmother's backyard when the ground suddenly gave way. A 1-100- and -50-foot deep sinkhole opened up right under his feet. He was falling into a plume of hot steam and lethal carbon monoxide gas. He was saved only because his cousin managed to grab his arm and pull him out just in time. The incident was a wake-up call. By 1983, carbon monoxide levels inside homes had become so high they were considered lethal. The government had no choice but to start offering buyouts, paying residents to leave their homes and their town behind. In 1992, the governor declared eminent domain, condemning the entire town. Finally, in 2010, the last few holdouts were officially ordered to leave. By 2025, the fire has moved south towards the neighboring town of Ashland, and new sinkholes are opening up every week. So who's left? Believe it or not, 5 people. As of 2025, this ghost town still has residents. These are the Centralia 5. They refuse the government buyouts. determined to stay in the homes they had lived in their entire lives. They fought for their right to stay, and in 2013, they won a court battle that allows them to live out the rest of their lives in Centralia. Their average age is 73. They have no mail delivery, no trash pickup, and no snow plowing in the winter. They are completely on their own, living on a ticking time bomb. One of the remaining houses sits directly over a 900-degree hotspot. One of the last residents, John Lokitis, said in a recent interview, "I was born here. I'll die here. Fire or no fire, it's a level of dedication that's hard to even comprehend." They are the last guardians of a town that has almost completely vanished. So what's it like to visit Centralia today in 2025? It's surreal. The infamous Route 61, also known as the Graffiti Highway, was a cracked, steaming stretch of road covered in decades of artwork. It was officially closed and covered with dirt in 2020 to discourage tourists, but people still find their way in. Steam vents are everywhere. If you stick a thermometer into a crack in the ground, you can get readings from 400 to 900 degrees Fahrenheit. The ground is warm to the touch in places, even in winter. Most trees are dead or dying, their roots cooked by the underground heat. Sinkholes are a constant danger, sometimes swallowing up the TVs of unsuspecting explorers. The state of Pennsylvania now officially refers to the disaster as the Centralia Mine Fire, and it's still actively monitored by the Department of Environmental Protection. The estimated time left for the fire to burn? Over 250 more years. Let's run through some rapid-fire, mind-blowing facts about this place. The fire has released so much carbon dioxide over the decades that it's equivalent to the emissions from over 100,000 cars running every single year. The eerie atmosphere of the smoking, abandoned town directly inspired the look and feel of the horror video game and movie franchise Silent Hill. The creator actually visited Centralia in 2002 for research. The total cost to try and fight this fire, adjusted for $2,025, is now over $80 million. And get this, Centralia isn't alone. There are at least 50 other underground coal fires burning in the United States right now, most of them in Pennsylvania. But Centralia is the only U.S. town ever to be completely erased by the government using eminent domain because of an environmental disaster. Centralia wasn't abandoned because of a war or an economic collapse. It was erased because the ground itself turned against its people. And it's still burning in 2025, all from a simple trash fire that was never fully put out. Which part of this story creeped you out the most? The kid falling into the sinkhole? The 900-degree ground? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. If this story blew your mind, smash that subscribe button. Next video, we recovering the wild story of the American Olympics Marathon, where the winner literally drove half the race in a car. Stay curious. And maybe don't light any trash fires. See you in the next one.